Productivity as a subject can be extremely overwhelming and confusing to people who are just starting to take control over their lives. Everybody on YouTube has these complex systems that have 46 steps and take up 3 hours of your day just to maintain them. But with most people, all they want to do is keep track of their basic essential tasks that they need to do to maintain their business, keep up with their homework and their studying, maintain relationships, keep up with their health, and other things like that. The problem with huge productivity systems is that it's really fun. It's really fun to customize every single detail about all your different softwares and how they interact with each other. But if you spend too much time customizing all this stuff, it eventually leads you to the concept that I like to call imaginary productivity, where all you do is spend your time making these aesthetic ways to keep track of your life when you don't actually do the reason that you started to use these tools in the first place, actually getting shit done. Today, I'll give you guys a simplistic beginner's guide to being actually productive. So let's start out with the goals. What does being productive actually mean to you? To better understand this, I recommend that you pick out your top 3 to 5 values in life. Once we understand our values, it will influence us in picking out our goals, because at the end of the day, our goals, if they're going to be of value to us, need to be in line with our values. So pick out 3 to 5 of your values. Maybe you value money, family, or your health, or maybe what you value more is your peace and well-being. And then once you have those values written out, write out some goals for this month and this year, and create a plan of action for how you're going to achieve them. And now that you know your goals, you're automatically going to be more productive because you have this out on a piece of paper, you have it in your mind, you know what you want, and you've written out how to get there. So just by knowing what you have to do and having clear intentions, you will automatically be more productive. But to really know what is productive for you, I recommend you follow this simple mental model. The more progress we are making towards our goals, the more productive we're being. It is as simple as that. And this exercise is going to set our mind up for success as we move on to the day-to-day habits that we use to keep our tasks organized. Tools. To effectively remember our tasks and organize them, there aren't many tools that are absolutely essential. Don't get me wrong, I think it's interesting to optimize all these tools and how they work together, like Notion, Calendar, Todoist, spreadsheets, to form the ultimate second brain productivity system. But the reality is, you don't need any of that. It's not a particular system or set of software that someone used that makes them a productive person. It's a skill. It's a skill that you are capable of learning, of managing your time. You, including everybody watching this video, has the potential to be a productive and organized person that doesn't forget their tasks. So in order to accomplish this, I'll go over an ancient method that all the great thinkers used to do to stay productive. And it's called writing stuff down. If you seriously consider what most productivity softwares and systems are structured by, you'll come to the conclusion that it's just a fancy way of writing stuff down. The productivity consultant David Allen has a quote that says, "Your brain is for having ideas, not holding them," which indicates that the most important building block of productivity is capturing our thoughts and insights instantly on a piece of paper or a document as soon as we have the thought. The lesser the barrier or the friction between these two states, having a thought, having it down on a piece of paper, the more effective we're going to be at remembering our tasks. And the more mental clarity and focus we're going to have too. I found that the most effective way to do this is to keep a journal or a notepad on you at all times. So, the old school way. I found that the most convenient ones are these tiny composition books, because you can just put it in your pocket, keep it with a pen, and this is the most effective way because there's a lack of barrier between having the thought and writing it down. It's more effective than if you were to use a note-taking app on your phone, because phones, by nature, are extremely distracting. As soon as you open your phone, you're bombarded with notifications and the blue light shining into your eyes, burning your retinas, and all the distracting apps on your phone. But with this, there's no distraction whatsoever. You flip it open and write something down. If you really need to use your phone, I recommend that you optimize your phone so it has the least amount of distraction possible. The best way to do this is to turn off your notifications on your home screen in the settings so that it's not as distracting when you first open it up, and then organize your home screen in a way that so that your note-taking app is accessible and there aren't too many distracting apps that will take your focus away on your home screen. And also keep in mind that writing stuff down by hand is going to be much more effective for your memory retention. Planning. Now that you've freed up some mental space from keeping track of your tasks this way, an important step for your productivity is planning and scheduling. So, a really important habit that I recommend you do is set out some time before you go to sleep every night and write down a brief or detailed plan for your day. Before the beginning of each week, write down some must-do tasks, some goals, and some events that you need to show up to. And anything that you have throughout the week that needs to be done on a certain day or a time, put it down on a digital calendar. I recommend a digital calendar because you can keep it on your phone, and it's kind of difficult to write down a whole calendar in just a tiny notebook. Using some bullet journaling method, it is easy, but the thing is, in my opinion, I've done bullet journaling, and it requires too much setup. And this is useful because once you have stuff planned, it can be out of sight, out of mind. It's down, you don't have to worry about it, you'll cross that bridge when you get to it. And to maximize our productivity, we need to make sure that we're not over planning. Don't schedule things way ahead when you could just do them today. For example, I don't have a deadline for these videos because I just do 2 deep work sessions a day, and I have minimum goals that I try to hit. But once I accomplish those goals and I have more time in my work session, I just work on the next video. Just keep going, consistent progress. Because as hardworking, ambitious people, we don't need perfection. All we need is progress. In conclusion, I encourage you guys to stay consistent with this simple productivity system for about 30 days. If you need to add anything else in, make sure you really need it and it is an integral part of your productivity system. Some things that you may need to add might be a habit tracker or an organized to-do list, but just make sure you really need them before you make any drastic changes. Also, an important step for productivity is you need to keep your goals in your mind at all times. Put them on your wall, put them on your background, on your computer, and on your phone. Whatever you can do to keep them in your mind will bring you closer to them. Because if you think about it like this, when you're driving a car, you need to be looking where you're going. Because if you're looking where you're going, your hands will naturally lead you to that point. Goals work the same way. Obsess over them. Keep them in your mind, because then your actions will naturally draw you closer into them. Think about how much better your life is going to be once you really get some shit done and accomplish your goals. And ending on that note, I hope you guys have a great day.